In my last lecture, I talked about fgetS and fputS functions. In this lecture, we will see the use of fprintf and fscanf functions. We are very much familiar with printf and scanf functions. Printf is used to display something on the screen and scanf is used to input some data from the user. But in this case, fprintf and fscanf, they deal with data files. fprintf is used to write different types of data in a file, whereas fscanf is used to read different types of data from a file. The syntax you can see here: fprintf, then the file pointer, then placeholder or formats modifier or specifier, whatever you can say, then the variables. For example, if the file pointer is fp, so in place of file pointer here it will be fp. And say we have one integer data and one string type data. We know that the format specifier for integer data is %d, and for string value the format specifier is %s. So within double quotation marks, say first data is integer data, so %d will be here. Then the next data, that is string in nature, so %s will be here. And after that, the first variable will be the integer variable, comma, the second variable is the string variable or character array. So this way fprintf function works, and whatever the values will be there in the variables will be written to the file. In the same way, fscanf function also works. The syntax of fscanf function is: first the file pointer, then placeholder or format modifier, then the variables. If the file pointer is fp, then here it will be fp, comma, within double quotation marks, the placeholders or format specifiers or modifiers, like for integer %d, for string %s, for character %c. So these are the format specifiers will be used, and after double quotation mark, one comma, then the variables, they will be separated by commas, like first variable comma, second variable comma, third variable. This way all the variables will be used. Now let's see one program where we will see the use of fprintf and fscanf functions. In this program you can see that the file pointer is fp, then I have taken some variables, one integer variable roll, one character array name whose size is 50, one float type variable marks, two integer variables I and n. So first we are going to enter the number of students, and that will be stored to the variable n. Then we are opening a file, and here the file name is file6.txt, and it will be stored in C data files folder under G drive. And as we are going to store something there in that file, therefore it will be opened in write mode. So the mode here W. And the file pointer already I have mentioned, it is fp. Then according to the number of students, this for loop will work as the number of students that is stored in n. Therefore this for loop will be repeated n times. Inside this loop I am just entering the name, roll and marks of each student, and I am writing to that file. Here you can see fprintf, file pointer was fp. Then here within double quotation marks, all the format specifiers I have to mention. So first was name, so %s, because name is string in nature. Next one was roll, that is integer in nature, therefore the format specifier is %d. And third one was marks, that was floating nature, therefore format specifier is %f. Then after closing the double quotation mark, comma, then the variables. So for name, the variable name was name. For roll, the variable name was roll, and for marks, the variable name was marks. So all this data, whatever I have entered from the keyboard, they were stored in these variables name, roll and marks. So the values of all those variables will be written to the file. After that the loop will be repeated, and it will continue this process for the next student. This way the records of the students we can write to the file. When this process will be completed, means will work according to the number of students, then fclose fp will close the file. After that, once again I have opened the same file, but this time for reading purpose, therefore file mode is R. Then according to the number of students, I have executed this loop, and inside this loop I am reading the records of the students using fscanf. The syntax is already known to you. So fscanf, then the file pointer, here it is fp, then the first value that was string in nature, so within double quotation marks, %s, %d, because next value was integer in nature, %f, the next value was float in nature, name, roll, marks. They are being represented by %s, %d and %f. Then the variables where the values from the file will be stored. The name will be stored to the variable name, the roll number will be stored to the variable roll, and the marks will be stored to the variable marks. Here I have used the same variables because already these variables I have declared at the beginning of the program. If you want, then you can use other variables also for storing the values from the file. I mean, for storing the name, instead of using this name variable, you can use any other string variable, but you have to declare that variable before its use. Similarly, for storing roll number, you can use any other variable instead of using this roll variable. For storing marks, instead of using this marks variable, you can use any other variable. So when this line will be executed, the values, I mean name, roll and marks, will be stored to these variables from the file, and then those values we are displaying on the screen. So using simple printf function, we are displaying all these values. Then the loop will be repeated. It will go for the next student. This way all the records will be displayed on the screen. When this process will be completed, then again we need to close the file. So fclose fp. So this way this program will work. Probably one thing you have noticed that when we use scanf or fscanf, in both the cases, we need to specify the address of the variables except the string one. What does it mean? You can see that in case of scanf, while entering the values, except a string type value, in other cases we use ampersand before the variable name. Ampersand is address operator. That means store the value to this address. Alright, so address operator is used in case of scanf. Same thing happens in case of fscanf. Here also, what are we doing? You see, except string variable name, with other variables, I mean here roll and marks, we are using ampersand, means this address operator. So address operator is used with both the functions scanf and fscanf. I hope this is clear to you. Now let's go and compile this program. You see it is okay. Now I'm just going to execute it. It is asking for the number of students, say 3 students. First student's name, say Pankaj, roll number is 45, marks is say 78. Second student's name, Rohit, roll number is 23, marks is 82. Third student's name is Sunil, roll number is say 20, marks is say 96. Now you see it is displaying all the records. First record Pankaj 45 78.00, because up to 2 decimal places I have displayed this marks. Then Rohit 23 82.00, then Sunil 20 96.00. So in G drive, under C data files folder, there should be a file with the name file6.txt, and that file should contain all these records whatever we have seen just now. Let's go there and check it. So in G drive, C data files, file6.txt, here you can see Pankaj 45 78 point this, then Rohit 23 82 point this, then Sunil 20 96 point this. So I hope this is clear to you. So this way, using fscanf and fprintf, we can work with a file. Okay.